The second call warned him to leave things alone or somebody's fixing to tear your ass up. To that, he responded, "That's exactly what your mom said last night." I'm just kidding. He didn't. Damn it. Hello, everyone.
Hey,
How are ya? How you doing? Welcome to People Are the Worst podcast. Thank you so much for being here. We're honored to have you.
I'm Rebecca.
Oh, that's Rebecca. I'm Rachel. I really took over today because it's my story today. And we are identical twins. We love true crime. We're fascinated by true crime, but we hate people, the damnedest thing.
So
Because
weirdest thing, isn't
you know
it?
who's usually behind true crime? People. Ugh. Ew. Ugh.
Those
So-
monsters.
Anyway, glad to have you. And honestly, I don't have anything at the top. This is a batshit story. Stick with me. There are a few bomb drops.
No less.
There are a few bomb drops on this one. I'm going to give one. You're going to be like, got it. And then a couple more are coming. So you just sit back. You won't relax. So I'll ditch that. But here we go.
If you like us, give us a phenomenal review, please. Yeah, that's it. 5 stars. And you will like us because we're wonderful people.
We're only accepting 5-star reviews at this point. Sorry. So
get your 4 stars out of here.
Today, I'm telling y'all about Corinna Mullen.
Karina.
Sources, several court documents, appeals
nice.
documents, but most of it came from the Owensboro Messenger Inquirer. That was probably like 80% of it. So many articles.
Wait, Kentucky, right?
Yeah. Okay. Look at you.
Yeah.
Okay. Kentucky New Era, Central City Times Argus, the Madisonville Messenger, and Greenville Leader News. Greenville, Kentucky, apparently is also a spot.
Okay.
Not to be confused with South Carolina. That's where Rebecca lives.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Corinna Lynn Mullen was born in Kirkwood, Missouri, which is just outside of St. Louis, on September 1st, 1967. Her parents were Claude and Patricia. She had a brother named Donnie and 2 sisters, Heather and Dina. Her family called her Reenie, which is cute.
Cute.
When Karina was 10, her parents became worried about the growing violence in St. Louis, which is, again, Kirkwood is a suburb of St. Louis. They were scared to let their kids play outside or walk to school anymore. After her dad, Claude, saw a man get shot and killed, he said, F this, and moved the entire family to a farm in Rockport, Kentucky.
Okay.
In 1985, at only 18 years old and a senior in high school, Karina gave birth to her daughter, Stephanie. We don't know anything about Stephanie's dad other than he is not in the picture.
Okay.
Don't even know his name.
Okay.
Soon after Stephanie's birth, Karina graduated from Ohio County High School. Like, baby. She was like, it was said that she loved unicorns and teddy bears, and the movie Footloose had just come out. She was obsessed with that.
Yeah.
So you think oh yeah, she's just a kid. And then you're like, oh, then yeah, she had a baby at 18. She's young.
Yeah.
But it was fine. She loved it, loved Stephanie. Her parents were there to help all the time. They were great.
Great.
So when Stephanie was 2 years old, Karina decided to move to nearby Central City, Kentucky, which is less than 10 miles away from Rockport. But with a population of around 5,000 people, it was much bigger than Rockport, which back then had like less than 400 people.
Yeah.
And today it's even less than that. So
wow.
There was more to do in Central City, yet, still a small town. And she was still close enough to see her parents whenever she wanted.
Yeah.
Karina and Stephanie moved into the Hillwood Village apartments with Karina's friend, 21-year-old Angela Smith. Angela was also a single mom with a young son, so she and Karina formed a bond over single parenthood.
Mm-hmm.
In 1987, Karina started dating a guy named Jimmy Springer. Jimmy lived in Central City, but commuted to Nashville, where he worked as a security guard at Opryland. And that's like a less than 2-hour drive.
Very close to Jerry Springer.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
When I was trying to
What can you do?
What can you do? I was digging real deep into newspapers.com. And sometimes they don't do the exact phrase, even though I'm telling it to. And Jerry Springer came up a
Oh,
lot.
God.
A
That
lot, but he
is
has nothing to do with this. What are
okay.
you alleging?
Uh, that he's a monster. I'm just kidding. I don't know any I know nothing about Jerry
Were you gonna
Springer.
ask if he's still
Yes.
alive?
Yes, I was.
Yes, he's still alive. Wow.
Alright.
So Jimmy Springer was 19 years old, so like a year younger than Karina, but everyone said he seemed much older. The year they started dating, Karina was caught shoplifting baby items, which
Oh,
breaks my heart.
let her have it.
She was, yeah, I mean, ugh. Anyway, it just makes me sad. She was given a fine.
What if when you thought that that girl was stealing from the boutique we worked in,
Uh-huh.
what if she had and you looked in and it was baby clothes? Would you just, like, give her a wink and say, "Alright,
Oh,
go."
I would say, run,
Okay.
run. I'll say I didn't
Just
catch
making
up to you.
sure.
I'll say I didn't catch up to you. Go ahead. And then I'd be like, actually, meet me at the pharmacy. I want to buy you diapers or
Yeah, I'll do
formula. It
everything,
just makes me
but
sad. Y'all, I
no,
know stealing's wrong. Don't you dare come in these comments and
uh-uh.
say, you can't condone shoplifting.
No, we
It's a
didn't. She
classic
did
moral
good
debate.
y'all,
Classic moral
good
debate.
news. She didn't have anything in her purse.
Oh, that girl.
Rach just accused her for nothing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you're working backwards, that's something you can look forward to. Even though,
Rachel
was that a rape? That might
falsely accused a poor innocent girl of shoplifting when she didn't.
that might have been a bonus too.
It
So
may have been a bonus.
if you don't hear it, sign on to that Patreon or Apple subscribe. Go ahead.
Because it's pretty
Funny.
embarrassing.
Pretty
for
embarrassing
Rach.
on my end.
Definitely
So,
lost a customer that day.
Yep. So yeah, she was caught shoplifting baby items. And victimless crime, if you ask me.
If you ask me.
Anyway, she was given a fine. She's not like put in prison. Don't worry. She was given a fine. And at the time, Kentucky had a program that allowed minor offenders to pay off their fines by doing work for the city. So Karina took a clerical and cleaning job at the Central City Police Department to pay off her fine.
Mm-hmm.
On the morning of Friday, October 2nd, 1987, a city street worker in Central City noticed a car parked behind a city garage and no one was allowed to park there. So it stood out.
Mm-hmm.
Only car there. He walked over to it and saw blood dripping out of the trunk.
Oh my God, that is horrifying.
Horrifying. The license plate said Reenie.
Oh, Reenie.
Yeah, a nightmare. So the city worker called police. The first officer on the scene was the lead homicide investigator, Lieutenant Billy Fields, who tried to open the car trunk, but it was locked, so he called a locksmith. When the locksmith opened the trunk, nobody could prepare for what they found. Karina was lying there, clearly dead. She was bloody, nude, wrapped in a blanket. She had been horrifically beaten, stabbed, and mutilated. So much so that Lieutenant Fields said that even though he knew who Karina was from her working at the police station to pay off that fine, he didn't know it was her. She was unrecognizable. An autopsy revealed she had severe facial injuries, 2 stab wounds, a cut, bruises on the back of her arms and back, defensive wounds on her hands, and sorry in advance, this is brutal. One of her nipples was cut off.
Oh, Rach.
And she had tears and deep lacerations in her vagina.
Oh my God.
It makes me nauseous.
That's the shit with Ted Bundy shit that I cannot handle. Ugh. Mutilation is so okay.
It's disgusting. She had also been brutally sexually assaulted.
Ugh.
They started collecting evidence from the car, the blood in the trunk. They found 3 strands of hair on her body, and they collected some dirt found on her body. As for the car itself, though, everything except the trunk seemed undisturbed. So Lieutenant Fields determined she was likely killed somewhere else, put into her trunk, driven there, and left there. They also could not find any fingerprints on her car. They go to her apartment at Hillwood Village Apartments, and inside Karina's bedroom, they find a lot of blood on the bed and on the floor. It was clear that a struggle had occurred in there. They also found a pair of men's jeans and a pair of men's underwear. Everything was collected and sent to the state crime lab. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Billy Fields starts interviewing everyone in Karina's life, starting with her roommate, Angela Smith.
Doesn't she have a boyfriend, though? Those are going to be his draws, aren't they?
Yeah, she has a boyfriend, and we talked to him too. But first, we're going to talk to the roommate.
Okay.
All right? Angela said that the day before, on Thursday, October 1st, Karina took 2-year-old Stephanie to her parents' farm to spend the night, and Karina was going to go there the following day. Angela's son was at his dad's house for the night. So since they were both child free, she and Karina decided to go out and have some fun.
Good.
I know. Karina, Angela, and their friend, 24-year-old Jeff Boyd, went to a bar called the Brassé Saloon in Owensboro, Kentucky, which is about 35 miles away from Central City. Angela said that Karina drank quite a bit and took Valium.
Mm.
After coming home from the bar around midnight, Karina asked Angela to keep the door unlocked because Jimmy, her boyfriend, may be coming over. So Angela did, and then went straight to sleep. And that was the last time she saw Karina. And she didn't hear anything in the middle of the night. Nothing woke her up. Although she does admit that she too drank pretty heavily and had been taking painkillers. So when she went to sleep, she was out.
Ew, yeah.
Even so, though, because of the amount of blood in the bedroom, they determined she was likely killed there. And it was noted how thin the walls in the apartment complex were, not only within the apartment, but the entire building. So neighbors all around could hear even the slightest noise.
And did they?
Nope. Investigators also spoke to the neighbors, and they all said the same thing. They didn't hear anything. One neighbor was up at like 4 a.m. prepping lunches and was like, I didn't even hear anything.
Mm.
The Message Inquirer newspaper did a story right after the murder about how the community was scared, a killer may be on the loose, and the journalist was at the apartment complex asking neighbors what they thought. And while he was in a neighbor's apartment, there was a really loud sound coming from the ceiling, and the person he was interviewing was like, see, someone upstairs just moved a chair. And the journalist was like, wow, you can hear everything.
Okay.
So the fact that Angela, the roommate, nor any of the neighbors heard anything is baffling.
Yeah.
So Angela tells them again, their friend Jeff Boyd went to the bar with them. So I want to tell you a little bit more about this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Boyd was a known coke and weed dealer who had a reputation for being violent and threatening, which because of his size worked in his favor because he's huge and intimidating. He was 6'5" and almost 300 pounds. So yeah.
Wow. He's Bigfoot.
He's scary.
Yeah.
He had a slew of arrests under his belt.
Oh, Jeff.
Theft, drugs. It's really across the board. In 1985, he and 2 other guys were arrested for rigging a military training grenade into a bomb and blowing up a guy's car.
Can't do that.
What the hell? The fuck? This what?
Boys are just so stupid. How do you even come up with that?
Why are you doing that?
It wouldn't even cross my mind or anyone else I know.
The original jackasses is what I'm picturing. Although I think this was probably like a revenge thing. It wasn't like, oh, let's blow up this car. That'd be sick.
No. Yeah.
No. So that's what he's about. And actually, at one point, Lieutenant Billy Fields had arrested him and investigated him for rape.
Oh, no.
No. And that wasn't the only run-in Jeff Boyd had with Lieutenant Fields. The day before Karina's murder is what I said.
Okay.
Billy Fields responded to a call regarding threats Jeff Boyd was making to Karina.
Oh.
Okay. So this call came in the day before. A guy called police and told them he was at Druthers Restaurant in Central City and saw Karina pull into the parking lot. Soon after, Jeff Boyd also pulled into the parking lot. And because it's a small town, I guess this guy knew them or knew of them. I don't know. But he knew who they were enough to say, like, I'm watching this.
Yeah.
The guy said that Jeff got out of the car and pointed a gun at Karina and yelled at her that she owed him money. And if she doesn't pay, he'll kill her. So this guy is like watching this and called the police, and Billy Fields responded. By the time Billy got there, Karina was gone and Jeff was in his car, but got out and like showed his hands to see like, what? I don't have a gun.
Well, guys, this is the first ever People Are the Worst episode that's an open and shut case. That's it.
That's it.
I mean, honestly.
Billy Fields searched him, and I believe his car, and confirmed there was no gun, so he had to let him go. Karina wasn't there to press charge, so they had to go.
Who's this guy who called?
His name's Jimmy. There are 15 Jimmys in this story, and I just didn't even want to say it. But there you go.
Okay.
Jimmy.
I don't feel good about Jimmy right now. Maybe he's lying. Okay.
There's
Keep going.
more Jimmys to come. So just forget him for a little bit.
Okay. Well, call the next one James or something. I don't know.
Nah.
Okay. Damn. Jay?
So I can't remember if I mentioned this. That was the day before.
Mm-hmm.
Needless to say, Lieutenant Fields wants to have a little chat with Jeff Boyd. Don't you?
Sure.
Okay. Now, there's not a ton of details as to who is cleared and why, but I know Jeff Boyd confirms he went to the bar with Karina and Angela, but wasn't at their apartment afterwards. And he's not cleared, but there's nothing to arrest him. They're still like, I don't know, you're kind of sleazy and may have threatened her with a gun the day before. So we'll see.
Uh-huh.
Next, Lieutenant Fields wants to have a chat with Karina's boyfriend, Jimmy Springer. While talking to Angela, Billy Fields learned that Jimmy and Karina's relationship was extremely volatile. They had been dating for about 6 months, and actually her parents obviously told the detective that too. So they had been dating for 6 months, and Karina often called her parents to tell them about their fights. Jimmy was a hothead. He was jealous. Nobody really liked him. At one point, Karina came home to went to her parents' house, and her face was really red, and they asked why it was so red. And she said that Jimmy didn't like the makeup she was wearing, and he said she didn't need it. So he took a rag and aggressively rubbed it off her face.
Okay.
He rubbed it raw, like a lunatic.
Right. You're okay. So how aggressive.
It's really
calm down.
Too much. Needless to say, Claude and Patricia didn't like Jimmy. And right before the murder, they finally convinced Karina to end it and move back home to Rockport with baby Stephanie, which she was in the process of doing. She had a bunch of her shit already packed up, and the day before her murder, she took a lot of it over to her parents' house, dropped Stephanie off to spend the night there. Then her dad was going to come to Central City with her the next day to move the rest of the stuff over.
Yeah.
Sadly, that would never happen.
Oh.
So we're going to chat with her boyfriend, Jimmy Springer, about
who she just broke up with. Yeah, that's a good suspect,
that's a good start. Yeah. Central City Police Chief Keith Nunley and Muhlenberg County Sheriff Harold McElvin, who everyone called Roadblock, his friends came up with that nickname long before he was sheriff because he weighed 370 pounds.
Oh,
nobody loved it. They said it was affectionate. He loved it. He even put it on his campaign signs when he was running for sheriff. And newspaper articles about this case often refer to him as Sheriff McElvin Roadblock.
Oh my God! I thought it was because he was a stickler and always had roadblocks.
Setting up roadblocks. Nah, it's because he was a roadblock. According to them, that's what, God, given the recent episode.
Oh, shit, right?
But according to them, he loved it. So we're good.
Okay,
I'm going to call him Sheriff Roadblock moving forward.
Okay. So, love it.
They sat down with Jimmy, and Jimmy told investigators that on the night of Thursday, October 1st, 1987, he was with two friends named Jimmy Jones, JJ, and we'll call him JJ.
Okay, thank you. Be prepared to reiterate which Jimmy is who.
Oh, I'm always going to say the first and last name. And really, we don't hear much. We don't hear much about Jimmy Jones after this or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So he was with his two friends, Jimmy Jones, JJ, and Dale Duncan. They smoked weed and then went to have a few beers at a different bar in Owensboro. I guess Owensboro is like the nightlife.
Yeah, the big city.
The big city, but it was not the same bar that Karina, Angela, and Jeff went to.
Okay.
He then offered up that Karina was a little upset and jealous that he went to Owensboro with his friends and not her. And they didn't get to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
So around 11 p.m., he and his friends, JJ and Dale, left and went back to Dale's house. After a little while there, Jimmy Springer left Dale's and drove over to Karina and Angela's apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Since it was unlocked, he let himself in and went to Karina's bedroom, but noticed two smudges of blood on her bedroom door. Okay. He tried to go in, but the door was locked. He knocked and called her name, but she didn't answer. So he left and drove around downtown to see if she was there by chance, but she wasn't. So he went back to Dale's house and fell asleep.
What? Okay. So that would mean the killer was in there.
We'll see.
Oh, unless they already moved her, to the trunk. Sorry.
Yeah.
But, okay. Creepy. If that's true, that is so eerie. And he has to live with that forever. But
Mhm.
That just seems weird. Oh, there's blood on the door and my girlfriend's door is locked and she's not answering? Huh.
But I guess I'll go back to Dale's
I guess
house.
I'll go to
No.
Dale's and catch up on some sleep.
Yeah, he did a lap downtown, which I'm sure took 10 and a half seconds,
Uh-huh.
and then went home to sleep. So they asked
I
him,
would sooner wake up the roommate and be like, hey, what
What's
the
the
hell's
deal?
going on here? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Not loving this.
So they asked him, why the F did you not call the cops when there was blood on the door?
Right.
And he said he didn't really think much of it because it was only a little bit.
How much does there have to be for you to get concerned?
I said,
It's
is there any amount that's normal?
right. Where you're knocking and it's locked and it's when she's expecting you and, a lot of
Yeah.
things. I'd be like,
Yeah,
without blood, I'd be like, why is the door locked and she's not answering? I'd probably wake up a roommate then.
right.
I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, he did not. He was like, it was like the normal amount of blood you'd find on someone's door. So like, what am I? Call the
What?
cops seems dramatic.
Right.
His friends Dale Duncan and JJ confirmed his story. They both said he came back to Dale's place after about like 15, 20 minutes after leaving to go to Karina's. And he didn't leave for the rest of the night. So they're like, he slept. Two women then came forward and told detectives that at 1:30 a.m., October 2nd, which is the morning they believe she was killed, they were sitting in a Sears parking lot when they saw what looked like Karina's car drive by, and a man was driving it, and he was by himself, or appeared to be. She would have possibly been in the trunk by this point.
Mm-hmm.
When they saw a picture of Jimmy Springer, they both said it definitely could have been him, but they weren't 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Then a few of Karina's close friends came forward and told investigators that Karina confided in them that she was worried she may be pregnant, and she was not happy about it.
Oh.
She was really upset, crying usually when
Oh.
she told them. So Jimmy is quickly at the top of the suspects list.
Yeah.
A few weeks after the murder, this is so annoying, and I'm sorry in advance.
It's okay.
A few weeks after the murder, Jimmy Springer was caught stealing a computer monitor from work at Opryland. And when the company's security team was questioning him about it, he made comments that made them believe he was involved with Karina's murder. We do not know what he said.
What could you have said? Well, first of all, stealing a computer monitor in the 80s was quite the task.
It was him and one other employee. I'm like, I can't believe it wasn't 10 other employees.
Yeah,
How'd
you
you
had to-
lift that thing? Wasn't it the size of a car?
Honestly. How'd you have that one? How are you trying to sneak that one out? All right.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. But B, once you are caught with that giant piece of equipment, what could you have said to incriminate yourself on someone else's murder?
No idea. It's crazy. But whatever it was, it made their ears perk up enough to the point where they called the police and told them they had their suspicions and they need to look into this guy more. The case
Maybe
against
it was
him-
like, hey, we see you carrying that 100-pound piece of equipment. And he's like, it's okay. I've carried a body before or something like that.
well, so that must have been it.
That must have been it.
This is only, I'm speculating.
Okay.
But he worked in the security department of Opryland, and it was a computer monitor from them. So I'm wondering if he was using it to maybe look up whatever the 80s version of Google, if you actually had access to that back then. Maybe he was looking stuff up that they didn't like when they caught him with the computer.
I think that would be very ahead of his time.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. But he made comments. That's all we know.
Okay.
So they called police in Kentucky and said, I don't know. We think we got your guy, but we're going to charge him with grand larceny first, and then y'all come get him, which they did.
Great.
When it came to physical evidence, though, there was zero.
Yeah.
Zero. The blood on the scene matched Karina's. Even so, they felt like they had enough to indict Jimmy Springer.
Whoa.
And on December 3rd, 1987, Jimmy Springer is charged with Karina's murder. The case against him is lackluster, I'll tell you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like this guy, but you certainly don't have enough. I mean, right?
They felt they did. So he's arrested. He's charged. He pled not guilty, and his trial started in July 1988. The prosecutor, David Jernigan, said Jimmy killed Karina because he was angry and jealous. She was moving back home and ditching him, and the murder was fueled by alcohol and drugs. He also asked the prosecutor asked the jury to disregard Jimmy's clean-cut appearance and instead picture him as a violent, drug-fueled murderer.
You can't.
I'm like, whoa.
You can't do that.
You can't
Don't
do that.
picture this guy who sits in front of you. Picture a monster. Picture.
Just imagine him. He's clean cut now, but that's because he had court today. That's because he had court today.
Picture him with blood all over him, with a angry look in his eye. Scary, right?
Isn't that
guilty?
scary?
Guilty.
Guilty in my mind. That's what I'm saying. Y'all agree? Y'all get it? She gets it for sure. What? So, okay.
Because he had nothing.
They had nothing.
Nothing.
They say it. I mean, they say it was a very hard case, obviously. So, Jimmy's defense focused on the lack of physical evidence, obviously, and also on several mistakes the investigators made. For example, it's bad. It's bad. Central City PD and Muhlenberg Sheriff's Office only gave the lab blood and hair samples from Karina, but not from Jimmy Springer or anyone else any other persons of interest. So the lab had nothing to compare it to. So the blood matched Karina. It's 1987, so it's blood type matching. It matched.
Right.
The hair didn't. But since the lab had nothing to test it against other than Karina, it's just unknown hair.
Oh my God. It's Kai the hitchhiker all over again.
Since they were dating and together a lot, his hair could easily be in the car. So even if it did turn out to be his, it wouldn't necessarily prove anything. So the prosecutor was essentially like, it really doesn't matter that it wasn't tested because if it's his, that's easy to argue.
Sure.
If it's not, now it's just an unknown hair sample and we're fucked. But it's probably good to know. Probably good to know. So the lab was like, no, we only tested against Karina. We didn't have anything else. Poor
Karina. She deserves better than this.
Yeah, she does. Another mistake was the fact that when they questioned Jimmy early on about what he did the night of the murder, they didn't record the interview or take notes. It took 2 weeks for them to get his statement again and have him sign it, which his story could easily have changed in 2 weeks. They have no way to prove it since there's essentially no record of the first story.
Right.
Jimmy took the stand and testified that during the initial questioning, Chief Nunley and Sheriff Roadblock repeatedly badgered him to confess to murdering Karina, saying they knew that he only did it out of love. And he was like, I'm not confessing to it.
No. Yeah.
He also said that he believes they made false statements about his questioning on the stand because it's just a game of memory. Like he says they went up on the stand and testified that he said this during that initial questioning. He's like, I don't think I said that. But we don't know. It's just word against word because no one has notes or recording. It's a mess.
Insane. Yeah.
It's a mess. The trial lasted for 2 days.
What?
They don't have a murder trial.
A murder trial?
They don't have much to talk about.
Oh, God.
Honestly. It's all circumstantial. And even that's not really. They don't even have that great of circumstantial. He's a dick.
Yeah, he's a dick. Look, I'm not going to date the guy, but I'm also not going to put him away for life. Do they?
Yeah, the jury deliberated for less than an hour and found Jimmy not guilty.
Oh.
No. He's acquitted. He's acquitted. Her parents saw it coming from a mile away. They didn't even go to the verdict reading because they knew it was going to be not guilty.
Yeah.
So defeated. It's really sad.
Oh, that is really sad.
And even though everyone was beyond confident he just got away with murder, Jimmy maintained his innocence. He went on living in Central City. He told a newspaper that he had nightmares about how she died and how brutal it was. He said he hated to think of what she went through, but he tried to move forward with his life. He got a job as a driver for a delivery service. He even got married. He said whenever he saw Lieutenant Fields or Sheriff Roadblock around town, they would wave to him or say hi. And at first I thought this was like we see you.
Yeah.
We see you. Like, we know you did it and you got away with it. Hello, we're watching you.
It's a sarcastic wave.
I think it was friendly.
Okay.
Like a friendly hi. Like, but y'all were so confident he did it. And so now he's acquitted and that goes away. Your suspicions go away. That's weird. Anyway, he said he would just ignore him. Also after trial, the prosecutor, David Jernigan, said that the case was officially closed unless new evidence came up. Karina's dad, Claude, and mom, Patricia, were determined to keep the investigation going, and they persistently contacted the Kentucky State Police to open their own investigation. And finally, in September 1988, 2 months after Jimmy's acquittal and almost a year after the murder, the Kentucky State Police agreed and started looking for new evidence, and they enlisted the help of Central City PD. With this, Claude and Patricia stayed in constant contact with Lieutenant Billy Fields, asking if he had heard any new developments from the state police, because they were like their middleman, kind of, at first, at least. But sadly, the update was always the same. No new update. This is all while they're raising her now 3-year-old daughter, Stephanie.
Oh, God, I forgot about Stephanie.
Yeah. So now she's living with her grandparents, but they're still like working night and day to keep Karina's case open.
Yeah.
In December 1988, Karina's car was finally released to her parents. I guess they were waiting for the trial to be over, but it's like well over a year. So they finally get her car back. And her dad, Claude, who again is conducting his own investigation, he starts going through it to see if there's anything that could have been missed. And he finds under the driver's seat, he finds a pocket knife with what looks like dried blood and hair on it. And it's under the driver's seat.
Wait a minute. Okay. So you didn't do your job at all. You didn't process this car at all.
Ridiculous. He immediately called Ray Albro, the investigator with the Kentucky State Police, and told him he may have found the murder weapon, because they still don't have that. And somehow the Central City investigators missed it.
Oh my God.
The city central investigators would respond to this, to criticism, obviously, by saying the knife was actually wedged into the seat, not under it, which is why they missed it. But I'm like, don't y'all tear that car apart?
Go through it with a fine tooth comb.
Still seems like something that should have been found.
Right.
Okay. So I don't know.
Because
the state,
that is the actual crime scene. Like, anyway. Yeah. Well, take the seats out. Yeah. What are you doing?
Right. So it was sitting there for well over a year after the murder, and her dad found it. The state police took the knife, tested it, and determined it wasn't human blood.
What?
No word on the hairs. No word on the hairs. Some sources said there wasn't hair on it. They're confusing the 3 hairs found on her body and the knife, but it was a quote from her dad in the newspaper. So I kind of think, and it said what looks like hairs. It could have been fuzz from the damn car. I don't know, but they said it was not human blood.
Wow. What? Oh. Karina is a big hunter.
And it's a pocket knife. I don't know. I don't know if it was even Karina. They never determined, or they never said. A lot of the details they kept out of the newspaper.
Yeah.
They never said if it even was Karina's, but I think Claude may have recognized it if it was, and would have said like, it's her knife. But no, it was determined not to be human blood.
Okay. Yeah. Sit with that for a little bit, but okay.
It is Kentucky too, though. I mean, she could have easily been a hunter too. Who knows?
Yeah,
anyway,
I know. But who's stabbing the animal?
Who's stabbing?
What kind of sport is that?
That people not with anyway.
Not with pocket knives.
No.
They're not going to go gut a deer,
right? Or to clean an animal after you shoot it.
You're not going to do that with a pocket knife,
You know, I don't know.
I don't know.
Can you tell neither of us have ever been hunting? Don't let the accents fool you.
Yeah.
Yes, we were born and raised in Alabama. Nope, I've never been hunting. Thank you.
We would call our dad to ask, but he's never been either.
Can't ask him. Oh, wait, let me ask my husband. Nope, can't ask him. Not hunters up in here.
Nope.
Because of the widespread criticism over the botched investigation from Lieutenant Fields, Police Chief Nunley, and Sheriff Roadblock, the sheriff was voted out of office in 1989 and defeated by a guy named Wayne Moore, who ran on the promise of opening a new investigation into Karina's murder, saying, quote, "If this were handled properly, we would have a conviction and the case would be solved."
Whoa, that's a big promise.
Yeah, well, people liked that. So he won the seat as sheriff and immediately appointed his deputy, Terry Arnett, to reopen the investigation. And Terry Arnett was a godsend for the Mullen family.
Oh, okay.
Terry decided to start completely from scratch. And in January 1990, he asked the Central City Police Department for all the evidence collected on Karina's murder, her case file, everything, which he got. But as for the physical evidence at the lab, it was lost.
No.
It was lost somewhere between the lab and maybe back to the department. We don't know where it is. Today, we do not know where
Was
it
the
is.
former sheriff pissed?
What happened? No.
Okay.
But it's
I don't
just it's a town with population 5,000. I think before this, one of them, I think maybe Lieutenant Fields said they had worked on like 2 murder cases. Like I don't know. Something happened. It's lost. It's lost.
Okay. Wow. For not many murders that happen in a small town, that's not the case value. That's not the evidence you want to lose.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Put that thing in a burn-proof safe.
Right.
Or
Right.
whatever.
But that's okay. That's okay. That's not going to stop him. And people around
A promise
town,
is a promise, though.
Oh yeah, the sheriff is like,
Pressure's
wait,
on.
wait.
Hold on.
When I said that, I did not know someone was going to fuck up so royally. So like, let's just slow your rolls real quick.
I mean, give me some grace.
Yeah. Give me a minute. But he is still very vocal about solving Karina's case. He is knee deep in it. And people around town are starting to get worried.
Ooh.
Because in 1991, the new sheriff, Wayne Moore, again, starts receiving anonymous phone calls warning him to stop the investigation.
Yes.
I love this guy. Okay.
The sheriff?
So, yes.
Okay.
Wayne Moore. So there were 3 calls. The first one told Sheriff Moore to, quote, stay out of it or he'll find his ass in the Green River. The sheriff responded, I can swim, and hung up. Snaps. I love him. The second call warned him to leave things alone or somebody's fixing to tear your ass up. To that, he responded, that's exactly what your mom said last night. I'm just kidding. He didn't.
Damn it.
I don't know what he said, but it had to be something. It had to be something like that.
It definitely was.
I mean,
hell yeah.
God, I love him. I wish I knew how he responded to that. The last call.
You do. You just said
I know. The last call is terrible. He asked Sheriff Moore if he cared about his wife and kids' safety.
Oh,
so now he's threatening the family. Sheriff Moore did set up protection for his family, but he kept the investigation going full steam, telling the Messenger Inquirer that the calls were a very good sign. He was quoted in the article about it saying, quote, hell or high water won't stop me. People are starting to sweat. I think some people are getting really scared. We've got some good leads, but that's all they are now. It's circumstantial stuff, but we're in too deep to go back now.
They can't trace these calls? Come on.
No. I mean, they didn't trace it. They couldn't. No.
Okay.
I'm sure they thought about it, but no, they couldn't.
Okay.
In 1992, Sheriff Moore asked the FBI for help in the case because the FBI had much more advanced technology, and they agreed to. And using laser scanners, the FBI examined Karina's car and found several bloody handprints on the trunk, like on the outside of the trunk. Clearly could not be Karina's.
Right.
But unfortunately, nothing came from it. Whoever they belonged to just wasn't in the system.
Yeah.
And sadly, years go by with no developments. Meanwhile, Jimmy Springer, her ex-boyfriend, did not stay out of trouble. In 1992, he was convicted of trafficking marijuana. 5 years later, he was convicted of burglary. In 1997, he pepper sprayed a gas station attendant and stole money from him. When he was arrested for this, he lied about his name. So he was charged with second-degree robbery, second-degree assault, and entering a false name on a federal print card. In 1997, he pled guilty to all of those charges and was sentenced to 26 years in prison.
Whoa. Okay.
He doesn't serve all that, but he does get out early. He doesn't serve the full 26, but I don't know exactly how much he served.
But his prints are in the system. So have we ruled him out yet? Okay, you just keep going.
I'm going to keep going.
You don't want to tell me.
I don't want to tell you shit.
Okay.
All of your questions will be answered. Actually, I'm going to do a couple of bomb drops, and you're going to have way more questions.
Okay. Great. Can't wait.
They'll be answered. Jeff Boyd also that's the guy they went to the bar with. You know,
6'5", 300.
Yep.
Okay.
He continued his career as a criminal. He was convicted of rape and sexual abuse, to name a few. In 2003, he was arrested for selling OxyContin to an undercover police officer.
Ooh.
At his trial for this, he became irate and flipped over the table like a toddler having a tantrum.
Calm down.
The bailiff had to tase him.
Oh, wow. You need to get your shit together. You are a hothead.
Yeah. And because of this outburst, the judge declared a mistrial. At his second trial, he was shackled to the table. So they were like,
You flip it, you're going with it.
Yeah, you can try to flip it again. Go ahead. But you're going to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it? He was also caught in a jailhouse recording telling someone on the phone that if he got out on bond, he'd run. Like, you, sir, spend so much time in jail. How do you not know they record the phone calls? So they obviously didn't give him bond.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, what? Flipped out. He's flipped to shit.
Yeah, constantly. He needs to be muzzled, that guy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Deputy Arnett poured through everything he could regarding Karina's case, all of the interviews, the notes taken from the original lead investigator, who at this point had retired. Lieutenant Fields is retired. And it paid off because he knew exactly who did it.
Okay.
He didn't have enough evidence to make an arrest, but he even told her parents, Patricia and Claude, to hang in there because he was really close and he knows who it was. Then a very crushing blow.
No.
In 2004, Deputy Arnett was diagnosed with terminal cancer. Because he knew of the extremely sensitive information he had, he kept Karina's case file in a safe, and right before his death in 2005, he gave the safe to his good friend and pastor for safekeeping. Side note, that pastor later ended up becoming sheriff of Muhlenberg County. Crazy.
Oh.
But Terry Arnett, he did die in 2005, and that friend gave the safe with the case file to the new detective on Karina's case, Detective Damon Fleming.
Okay.
Detective Fleming is looking through Arnett's findings and is shocked. There are a few very concerning things in the case file. First of all, Karina's toxicology report showed that she had trace amounts of marijuana, a small amount of Darvin, which is a prescription painkiller, but it was a much lower dosage than a doctor would prescribe, indicating that she must have taken it a while before she was killed, early that morning, even the day before. And there was no alcohol in her system. The medical examiner said that she would not have been considered under the influence at the time of her death, which is very weird considering her roommate, Angela, said they went out and drank heavily and took Valium. What's that about?
Oh, my God. Oh.
Before he could even question her about it, a huge break comes.
My eyes are so wide.
Oh, my God. 19 years after the murder, a 35-year-old woman named Samantha Robinson came forward and asked to speak to Detective Fleming regarding Karina's case. She told him something had been eating away at her, and now that her own daughter was 16 years old, which is the same age she was when this horrific story I'm about to tell you took place, she could not take it anymore. On the night of Thursday, October 1st, 1987, 16-year-old Samantha Robinson was walking from a friend's house back to her house. As she was walking, a car pulled up and two men got out. They grabbed her, forced her into the car, and drove over to Karina and Angela's apartment. At the apartment, one of the kidnappers, the driver of the car, went into Karina's room and started yelling at her about opening her mouth and saying she'll get what she deserves. He then started beating her with a metal pipe until she was unconscious. Mind you, the other kidnapper at this point forced Samantha into Karina's bedroom to watch all of this.
Shut up. Wait, but no one heard anything. Started yelling at her. Okay. Go.
Once she was unconscious, they both raped her, the two kidnappers. Then two other guys came into the room and raped her. Again, 16-year-old Samantha is watching all of this.
Oh, my God.
Samantha says she remembers hearing Angela in her bedroom sobbing because she could obviously hear all of this. And we later learned that there was actually a fifth guy in her room restraining her. Almost positive. One source didn't say that he was in there. He is a part of this, but I don't know if he was physically holding her down. After all four men raped Karina, the driver of the car, the kidnapper who was yelling at her for opening her mouth, grabbed 16-year-old Samantha, shoved her on top of Karina's body, and raped her.
No.
He actually sodomized her like a sick piece of shit.
On top of Karina?
Mm-hmm. When he was done doing that, he started beating Karina again and finally stabbed her to ensure she was dead.
What the fuck?
He wasn't at all worried about the blood evidence he was leaving all over the apartment because he knew he would be the one processing the scene the following day.
Shut the fuck up.
Because this monster is Central City's lead homicide investigator, Billy Fields.
No.
The car Samantha was forced into was a patrol car. The accomplice who helped kidnap her was Jeff Boyd.
Wait, hold on. I got to wrap my head all around this.
Samantha, 16-year-old Samantha, walking back home from a friend's house.
Yeah.
A patrol car pulled up next to her and two monsters got out. The driver, Officer Billy Fields in uniform. The passenger, Jeff fucking Boyd.
Oh my God.
Beast of a man. And who are the other monsters in the apartment? They're Jeff Boyd's 18-year-old little minion named Jimmy Kramer. Another Jimmy coming at you. 18-year-old Jimmy Kramer, and none other than Karina's boyfriend, Jimmy Springer. Jimmy fucking Springer.
Was Jimmy Kramer the one who called the police?
No.
Yeah. That was a whole other Jimmy.
Whole different Jimmy.
Okay.
And Jimmy's Kramer's middle name is Dale, and there's another Dale that I mentioned earlier.
God,
it's a mess.
It's a mess.
Jimmy and Dale's are the only people who live in this town.
Uh-huh.
The guy who may or may not have been holding Angela in her room was later determined to be Crandall Gibson, but he's dead. So he doesn't have to answer for this.
Oh my God. No, and so no wonder Angela was like, yeah, I mean, a cop did it. I mean, I can't tell y'all the truth. What?
Yeah. Exactly.
Karina was really drunk and took Valium. Oh my God.
She was speaking to Billy Fields and whoever.
And she saw all of them. She knew. Wow. How did no one hear?
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Okay.
After the lead investigator on this case brutally murdered and raped 20-year-old Karina and then brutally raped a 16-year-old kid, the guys put Karina's lifeless body in the trunk of her own car, and then Billy Fields forced Samantha to drive Karina's car to the city garage. And by the way, there's no connection to Samantha in these two assholes.
I was wondering, yeah.
She was merely walking home and they spotted her. She knew who Billy Fields was because it's a small town and he's a well-known cop. But she didn't know who Jeff Boyd was until she saw a picture of him. But she essentially was in the wrong place at the wrong time, which is awful. She was like, I don't know these people. But then after, I mean, she knew what she saw.
Did she know Karina?
I think after all the media headlines, I don't think she didn't know her personally. She was 16. I mean, Karina was only 20, but still.
Right. Yeah.
So he forces her, he has his gun, he forces her to drive Karina's car to the parking garage. And at this point, it's just about sunrise. The sun is about to come up. When they pull up to the garage, Jeff Boyd was already there waiting in his car. And I guess he went ahead of them. Samantha parks the car and knowing she was likely going to be killed for everything she had seen, she took a chance and immediately threw it in park, jumped out, threw the keys in the opposite direction and hauled ass. And she made it. She made it, obviously.
Samantha, you are whoa.
Yeah. She told her mom everything, but considering a very well-respected cop did it, they were scared of what would happen to them if they went forward with it. Over the years, Billy called Samantha several times to threaten her to keep quiet. So Detective Fleming is hearing this story 19 years later, 2006, and is stunned. He confirms what he and the late Deputy Arnett thought. Billy Fields was definitely involved. That's who Arnett thought it was. But that's not the only confirmation they get. There's more, don't worry. Still going through the case file, Fleming starts questioning why there was no physical evidence test results. Remember, it was at the lab, but it somehow got lost. Well, Detective Fields sent it to the lab originally, like right after the murder, but never told them to test it. Like they tested it against Karina's. He provided that, said, here's a comparison, go ahead. But they had to wait for the go ahead from the detectives before doing anything else, and they never got one. So it just sat there. After Jimmy Springer was acquitted, Billy requested all 18 pieces of evidence, including Karina's rape kit, back from the lab, and it was never seen again.
Uh-huh.
He had to sign it out. And Detective Fleming went back through the records to see who signed it out and when. And he signed it out right after the acquittal. And then it was never, ever seen again.
What a fucking monster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dying.
He definitely destroyed it. To this day, again, we have no idea where it was.
I can't believe Samantha and Angela, but really Samantha was able to hold this in. This is so traumatic.
This is
God, but it ate
horrific.
away at her.
Yeah.
Oh, and then she had a daughter. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Detective Fleming re-interviews more witnesses. One said that they saw Billy Fields and Jeff Boyd near the garage late that night. Another witness was a Central City police officer at the time who said he saw Jeff Boyd walking towards the garage around 3 a.m., which I'm sure back then that officer reported it to Billy Fields, the lead investigator.
Right.
Obviously,
Wow.
he's going to report it.
Yeah.
And I think Fields was like, okay, great tip. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then just went about his monstrous ways. They talked to the roommate, Angela, who confirmed that Samantha's story is correct, true. She lied because she was scared of the entire group, especially Billy Fields.
Yeah.
And that's true with everyone. They tracked down the neighbors who said they didn't hear anything. And finally, 19 years later, out with the truth, Billy Fields was the one questioning them and intimidating them into saying they didn't know anything. One of the neighbors and Karina's friend, whose name was Edna Eves, said that she saw a patrol car parked in front of Karina's apartment late that night, and next to it was Karina's car backed in with the trunk open. She literally
oh my God.
almost witnessed them getting rid of her body, carrying out her body. Edna is also one of the ones who told investigators that Karina confided in her that she may be pregnant. She said shortly before the murder, they had run into each other in the laundry room of the apartment. They became good friends, neighbors, all of it. Karina was crying, so Edna asked her, like, what's going on? And Karina said she thought she may be pregnant. And what's worse is she was pretty sure the father was Billy Fields.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
So they were, okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Billy and Karina were having an affair.
And Jeff knew about that. I mean, Jimmy knew about this.
No,
her boyfriend?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
How this group of monsters get together?
Yes.
And say, this sounds like a good idea. Let's.
Yeah. First note, Karina was not pregnant.
Okay.
She thought she was, but she wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, they were having an affair, but I want to talk more about this asshole. A little bit of background.
Please.
Okay. Billy Fields joined the Central City Police Department in 1978. And again, he was very well respected. He was often in the newspaper. They always are. He was often in the newspaper getting praise for all sorts of police work, rescuing an abandoned baby, administering CPR to someone who was in an accident, busting a pot farm. Pot farm, boo.
Yeah.
It sounds like he should have taken a little.
Right.
That's just to name a few. In 1980, he was promoted to lieutenant and second in command. His boss, Police Chief Keith Nunley, said Billy was one of the best officers he had.
No, he wasn't.
No, he actually wasn't. In 1986, Billy started running a program in Central City that allowed minor offenders who receive fines to work for the city. That's the program Karina enrolled in to pay her fine for shoplifting.
It's very Sandra Birchman a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
While Karina was working there, she got to know another officer named John Scott. She sort of knew him anyway because she was friends with his sister. So they kind of knew each other.
Yeah.
The day before her murder, Karina pulled Officer Scott aside and asked if she could trust him.
Oh.
He said, of course. And she told him that she recently found out that her boyfriend, Jimmy Springer, his friend, Jeff Boyd, and their other friend, Dale Duncan, the one who provided an alibi for Jimmy Springer the night of the murder, said, yeah, he was back at my house within 20 minutes.
Yeah.
She said she found out they were all involved in a stolen property and drug smuggling ring, and she felt the need to turn them in.
Oh.
John Scott said, okay, thanks. Good to know. I'm on it. Then he went to his superior, Billy Fields, to ask for advice about how to approach this, not knowing that looping Fields into this would lead to Karina's brutal murder because Corinna was right. They were operating a drug and stolen property ring, but Billy Fields was very much involved. In fact, he was the boss of the whole operation. He was the mastermind.
Oh my.
He was running a full-blown criminal ring with these assholes and like for years and profiting off of it. I mean, selling drugs. He is such when I say corrupt, holy shit.
Oh my God.
So Fields told Officer Scott, oh, okay, good to know. I'll take over the investigation. And Karina was killed the next day. That's why he was yelling, like, you opened your mouth. You, like Samantha heard him saying, like, you're going to get what you deserve. You opened your mouth. You're running your mouth. He was talking about that.
Holy shit.
I don't think she knew Fields was involved in it.
Right.
So she went to Officer Scott and told him, and he went to his boss merely for advice about the investigation. And he was like, I'll take it.
How insane is this?
I'll take it. How fucking crazy is that?
Wow.
Sorry. No.
I'm like, wait, need to really.
And poor Officer Scott.
Yeah. He's
going to a superior. I mean,
that was like
you're doing the right thing.
The nail in her coffin,
yeah,
so to speak. That is so sad.
Awful.
Oh my God. And she was just ratting about a drug. Like, wow,
y'all
really
I think it was
her.
A pretty big
operation.
Yeah,
obviously, yeah. But like,
so they would have gotten hard time, but yeah, tortured
one
her.
guy has so much power because she's then killed. Officer Scott, who blew the whistle to Fields, of course, not knowing he was involved.
Yeah.
But like, surely he was like, oh my God, it's definitely the ones in the drug ring. Like, so then was Fields then intimidated him into shutting his mouth? Like, how one guy has so much power over everyone.
I know. Well,
like everyone. Oh God.
Here's what blows my mind. I think that was the reason he really zeroed in on Jimmy, because everyone suspected him anyway. So if Scott came to Fields and was like, hey, you think her boyfriend was involved in that thing, he probably did it. It was probably more more fuel to the fire of like, okay, yeah, Jimmy Springer did it. That's why I'm going to arrest him with zero evidence. Right. And I'm also shocked Jimmy Springer didn't say, whoa.
I know.
Don't arrest me just for this, not just me.
Well, he probably was like, this is going to be for show. You're going to get acquitted because I have nothing.
Yeah, exactly. We've turned in no evidence. The lab hasn't tested it. You're fine. Just stick it out. You're going to get acquitted. And boom, he did. So,
whoa.
Wow. Goes to the top.
All the way to the top.
In the years after her murder, Billy's reputation started deteriorating. Obviously. He and Jeff Boyd would be seen together kind of out in the open, like this cop and known drug dealer. So people started talking and wondering, like, is Billy a cop by day, drug dealer by night? Like, why is he chumming it up with this guy? He'd later say that anyone who saw him with drug dealers, it was because he was trying to get information out of them. He's not being buddy with them, but he's not going to learn that type of information talking to Dr. John or lawyer Smith, or he said something like that. Sure, bro.
Sure. And no known drug dealer is going to talk to you. Though.
Right.
So, no.
Right. Unless you are bros, which you are. Then came I'm doing air quotes, rumors that he may have been involved in Karina's murder, which he adamantly denied. In 1992, 3 different officers within Central City Police Department filed complaints about Billy Fields, and he was suspended while they investigated, but Police Chief Nunley found no truth to their complaints. But at this point, it was too much for Billy. He said he was stressed to the point that he was experiencing blackouts, and his kids were getting bullied at school because of these, again, air quotes, rumors that their dad was a dirtbag. So
he's married with kids?
Yeah.
Ugh.
So he officially resigned from the police force in 1992 because
asshole.
Rumors were swirling. His reputation was tarnished because they were like, we think he's sketchy.
And he involved a lot of people. He really intimidated a bunch of people to.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
To keep their mouth shut.
Right.
And as years go by, you just become less scary, I think.
Yeah.
You're like, actually, no, I'm sorry. I hold the power.
Right.
Excuse me?
You brutally tortured someone in an apartment building in front of her roommate and in front of a third party you don't know.
Yeah.
And then you intimidated the neighbors into keeping quiet, and then you intimidate, like, no.
Right.
Fuck off.
Right. But honestly,
it worked. I know. It worked for a while.
Weren't for Samantha.
I know.
I don't know if they had their suspicions. because of how much he botched evidence, because he lost the evidence. He was the last known person with it and lost it, all of it. But it wasn't enough to like bring charges. I don't know. So
What was his position when Arnett took over? The sheriff we love?
he had already resigned.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Because
Fields
1992.
in 92, he resigned because of like people were talking about him.
Okay.
So he left the police force in 92. Right afterwards, the Messenger Inquirer ran a huge story about his resignation and the, again, rumors, quote unquote, rumors that forced him out of a job, specifically calling out and putting it in print that a lot of people think that he killed Karina.
Wow.
And that's why he botched the investigation so badly. Y'all were right. Usually it's a small town. This is hearsay. This is just a rumor mill. No. Y'all were right. Yeah.
All right. That journalist better be careful. Stay safe out there, reporter.
Yeah, right. It still took another 14 years to make an arrest. And finally, on November 2nd, 2006, Billy Fields was arrested, as was Jeffrey Boyd, Jimmy Kramer, Angela Smith, and Jimmy Springer.
Wow.
Billy Fields was charged with murder, first-degree rape, kidnapping, first-degree sodomy, and tampering with physical evidence. Jeff Boyd was charged with murder, first-degree rape, and kidnapping. Jimmy Kramer was charged with first-degree manslaughter, rape, and kidnapping.
And Angela's charged with nothing.
Well, Jimmy Springer was charged with perjury and first-degree rape and sodomy. So he sodomized, I believe, Karina. Okay, one source. This is so disgusting, so graphic.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
One source. So I didn't put it in here, but it did say it.
Okay.
But no one else did. The court document didn't say it, which usually,
okay.
I don't know. I feel like they would. One source said he sodomized her with a broom.
Ugh.
Oh, gross. Anyway, he is charged with sodomy, so he sodomized someone.
And she was found with injuries.
Yeah.
In her vagina. Yeah.
Lacerations. I know. Since he was already acquitted of the murder back in 1988, he couldn't be charged with that due to double jeopardy, which is such a bummer. So he's not charged with. He actually got away with this, pretty much.
Wow.
Angela Smith was charged with perjury and complicity to rape, sodomy, kidnapping, and murder.
Complicit?
See, that's what? Again, they know that Crandall guy was there. It's mixed on if he was actually in there holding her down or if she was just like hiding.
Hiding is not complicit either.
I know. She was scared. I get it.
I know.
No, I get it.
And because there's a very well-known and, again, well-respected cop in there. She was intimidated. But, oof.
I know, but it is intimidating. But, I mean, hearing that, I'm like, y'all, how did so many people keep their mouths shut?
Oh, I know.
Oh, God, it's so scary.
Who's she going to tell? A cop who's going to go to their boss, Fields, and now next thing you know, Angela's dead.
You go straight to the top. I would call the state police.
Yeah.
Do not go to that police department. No way. You don't know who's involved. Right. That's why Terry Arnett kept the case file in a safe and wouldn't let any other officer see it. Because it was originally an investigation between Central City PD and Muhlenberg Sheriff's Department, which is where he works. But they were working together. So he was like, I'm not letting anyone touch this because I don't know who all's involved.
Right.
So that's why I gave it to like his best friend and pastor.
Wow.
Angela agreed to cooperate with the investigation and testify. In exchange, all the other charges except perjury were dropped. She was given a 5-year suspended sentence. So she did no time for it.
Well, what does she say happened? She said she was being held in there by...
Her testimony wasn't in it says she testified, she admits to perjury, she admits she lied, and the reason she lied because she was so scared of these guys, especially Billy Fields. But I don't have her quote as to if Crandall Gibson was actually holding her down or not. The reason Crandall Gibson couldn't even be brought up in trial, he was dead. So, but they did find a recording of him being questioned. Arnett found one. But it matched, I believe, Samantha's description, and she confirmed it was him. A lot of people, he was in cahoots with them. So we're pretty certain it was. But the recording couldn't be validated if it was actually from like the murder investigation or like, again, it was poorly kept records. So they're like, we don't know if that's actually admissible, and he's dead. So like, what can you do? Anyway.
Yeah. What's he dead from?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't, being a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Karma one way or the other. I don't know.
Yeah. The result of Jimmy Springer's case, ironically, is not known, which is weird. We don't know how much time he served, if he served any. He didn't go to trial. So I think he may have worked something out. Again, double jeopardy. He was acquitted of the most serious charge. So the last thing we even know about him is that he was convicted of trafficking meth in 2020, but has since been out on parole. Gosh, sorry. He's currently not an inmate in Kentucky. I searched for him. He is
2020 was 2 seconds ago. How old is he to be doing meth?
He was
that it hasn't killed him yet.
I know. He was paroled a year or so later. So 2021, 22, he was out on parole. And as of this morning, he is not in prison.
Okay.
At least in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So Billy Fields, Jeff Boyd, and Jimmy Kramer are all going to have a joint trial in April 2009.
Let's do it.
Because of the media attention and the constant chatter about this case in Muhlenberg County, the state agreed to move the trial to Christian County, which is like 45 minutes away.
Got it.
Thank you. No one knows about it there.
Yeah.
Even without physical evidence, the prosecutors had a pretty easy case. Everyone testified for them. The neighbors, plural, the property manager who confirmed that the patrol car was at Karina's house or apartment a lot. Obviously, Fields denied their affair, but it was a pretty well-known secret. So Jimmy Springer may have known, but I can't imagine he would let that go down.
Yeah.
So, doubt it.
Right. Considering he's
too.
Forcing makeup off her face.
Yeah.
When they're just hanging out. That's crazy.
Probably not very observant, astute,
Yeah.
Angela testified, the neighbor and friend who said Karina may have been pregnant with Billy's child and saw her car backed in with the trunk open the night of the murder next to Billy's patrol car. Jimmy Kramer's cellmate came forward and said that Jimmy was going through the crime scene photos and the discovery material before trial and excitedly said to his cellmate, "Look what we did. Look what they did."
Okay. You're
Jimmy,
a dipshit.
You're a dipshit too. And of course, the star witness, Samantha Robinson, testified.
Good. Oh.
Normally, these creeps would turn on each other, but they didn't. They turned on Samantha and tried to discredit her.
Yeah, this is what she wants to be doing.
Really? Well, here's why. This is so fucking stupid. During cross-examination, their attorneys asked her about a past felony conviction. They all said they're just working to discredit her again. They also brought up the fact that after the murder, her sister actually started dating Jimmy Kramer and her dad started working with them, yet she never warned either of them that he was dangerous. They also point out that it's weird that she was able to run off after parking the car. Like, they definitely could have caught her. Why didn't they kill her just then in the bedroom? Yeah. So they were like, that's weird. Lastly, they questioned if Samantha's testimony might have been due to a quid pro quo she made with prosecutor Tim Coleman, because earlier in the year, Samantha's husband, Michael, was looking at a 22-year sentence for meth possession and being a persistent first-degree felony offender. And to combat that lengthy sentence, Michael said, they are telling the courtroom that Michael said, "Hey, me and my wife know something about a cold case that you may be interested in." And that's really why she testified, so he could get leniency. But the DA said, no, right. There's no quid pro quo, because the fact that Michael was actually given that 22-year sentence is clear, as proof that he got no special treatment. Yeah. And she came forward 3 years prior to the trial and prior to that sentence. Right, so forget it. Forget it. She came forward because she could not take it anymore. Lord. So that was a dumb argument, but they've got to go with something. I mean, the defending attorneys have a job to do too. So what can you do?
What can you do?
All three were found guilty of all charges.
Great.
Billy Fields and Jeff Boyd were each sentenced to life in prison, and Jimmy Kramer was sentenced to 60 years in prison. They appealed in 2011, but denied.
Good.
Karina's daughter, Stephanie, was at the trial. At that point, she was 24 years old and had a daughter of her own.
Oh, my God.
After the conviction, she said, "We never thought this day would come. I didn't have a normal life because of them. My life was watching the two people I cared about the most, my grandparents, cry every day of my life."
Oh, my God.
So sad. her dad, Claude, was so happy with the verdict and relieved it was over, but he was also very sad that his wife, Patricia, didn't get to see justice. She lost her battle. She lost her battle with cancer only 5 weeks before the arrest.
It's okay. Karina told her in heaven.
How sad is that?
Oh,
After almost
God.
2 decades waiting to know answers, you're getting an arrest and answers in 1 month pretty much. And she died of cancer and never saw it. Oh, heartbreaking.
A lot of people died in cancer
In that
the story. What's your motive here?
I don't know. Just telling you about shit that happened. Just telling you the facts.
Man.
And that is the horrific, infuriating story of the murder of Corinna Mullen.
I have to look him up now.
Ugh,
Wow.
gross. So I think I told y'all last week, we did have a leftover custom shout out. I'm sorry. Oh God. From a loyal patron who just started a new podcast. Shout out Heidi Sexton, who just started a podcast called Evolving Together, the podcast for navigating all things midlife with honesty, humor, and heart. It's on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Patreon, everywhere. She said it's a baby pod, so sometimes it doesn't show up in searches. It's called Evolving Together.
Evolving Together.
She has a Patreon where she's offering PATW listeners 90% off their first month on any tier with code PATW. So anyone, and she said she'd be thrilled with anyone signing on as a free member too. Just go check her out. Her name's Heidi.
Go check her out.
Good job. And just a reminder.
Congrats on the podcast launch.
Congrats.
It's always exciting. It's the best thing we could have done.
It's so great.
Wish you all the best.
Wish you all the best. And I always encourage people to start a podcast if they want to. I keep running into people who say they want to, like with their friend or their sister. I'm like, just do it.
I know.
I mean, honestly, go for it. Stay consistent. Stay yourself.
Yeah.
And
authenticity really counts.
And there you go.
You'll find your people that way.
Yes. And thank you for being a loyal Patreon. That's why we no longer offer custom shout outs as a gift, because it was so hard to keep up with. We were getting inundated and some fell through the cracks. And I feel really bad about that.
Yeah.
So now it's just the gifts are content, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that was just a reminder for that. Patrons, thank you so much for joining. Kaylee, Jayana, Jamie, Lindsay, Julie, Amber, Latasha, Amy, Sarah, Carmen, Natalie, Chalet, Kim, Tegan, William, Vanessa, Kristen, Katie. Thank y'all.
Thank you so much.
Y'all, we could not do it without y'all.
Without y'all.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. Y'all are the best. People are the worst.
And bonus is coming. It's probably
bonus
already
coming at you. We're recording it right after this.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.